everyone. I am Violet Ayala, founder of FemCity, and I have asked this beautiful soul, Terri Dean, to join me today. Oh, I don't even know where to start with my love for Terri Dean. So we were talking in the green room, which is not really green, but it's behind the scenes. And this will kind of just share how much I love her. So she sent me this morning, my time, or at least I received it this morning, a picture of the two of us when we met in 2016. And you can see the love in that picture. And she has been a part of FemCity for just about 8 years now. She is now one of our directors, and I get a chance to work with her on so many projects. She is, when I think of Terri Dean, I think of just the word love. That's all I think about. She's just incredible. So today we're just going to talk about FemCity and her story, and I want you guys to all get to know Terri. So Terri, I'm not gonna cry. I don't want you to cry either. But you're just amazing. You know that I think the world of you.
And right back at you. Same thing. Like you're always top of mind when even an opportunity crosses my email or something. It's like, oh, that would be great for Violet. I always have you in my heart, and I have FemCity in my heart, and I have you on my mind, and I just feel it's so important to share anything that comes, to us that we can gift to someone else. And I love it that I feel such ease around that. There's no anything that drops in my heart that says, oh, you have to pay me because I saw this and I think you need to explore it. It's just genuine love that I have for you, and I just all the respect in the world for how you have created such an amazing community. And I know I told you many, many years ago, it's like the Maya Angelou quote, when you cast a stone in the water, and the ripple effects. And I just got chills when I said that. Like, you'll never probably see or know the relationships that have been now. Well, I didn't think I was going to get emotional. Now I feel emotional. But the relationships that have come about because of, connections that we've made through the network. And you'll never see that, like where you sit and in all the different chapters around the globe, and how women are connecting in, various ways and moving forward in their partnerships and in their lives and friendships. So it's really beautiful. I'm honored to be a part of our lovely community.
Thank you, Terri. I was not expecting all of that. And thank you so much. Thanks for sharing all that love for me and for FemCity. Okay, back to my questions. So I was going to ask you about how FemCity helped you pre-pandemic and then pandemic and then post-pandemic. And my intention in asking you that question is I feel that there are a lot of femmes that are in our communities that feel like it's always challenging out there. And what's that support system like? Does it help you? So how did FemCity help you either pre-pandemic or pandemic or post-pandemic? I guess we can focus on pandemic and then maybe post-pandemic to see like how did it help you navigate turbulent waters? How did it help you?
For me personally, I was pretty terrified when it felt like the floor had been ripped out from underneath us. And what I ended up doing initially was like, okay, I can't control what's happening in the industry that I'm working in. I can't control that the movie theaters have closed around the country. And now I no longer can do the job that I've been doing day in and day out. And I just had to get really quiet and go, okay, well, what can I do? And what I could do was reach across the sidewalk to the lady who's in her 70s that has MS and recognize that she hadn't been able to see her kids who kind of take care of her for a few weeks. And what I could do was look across the parking lot and see other people that were kind of also isolating. So I started, I've made cards and stuff over the years. So I'm like, I'm going to just walk around. I took everybody's address down one night on a walk with my dog, and I started sending out cards. And then it kind of led me to, making candles and gifting candles and, trying to share some light that way. And then I also, within the FemCity group, we had lost our ability to connect in person. And at that point, I was like, oh, one too many Zoom calls. Like a month in, I couldn't do it anymore. So I reached out to Candace Thomas, who we all know and love. And I said, we got to do something to keep people front and center because we have ladies who are paying membership, dues. And I don't know, maybe we can just start interviewing people. And I was terrified. I'm still terrified to be on camera. That's one thing that FemCity has done, though, too. It's forced me to stand up and say hello to a group of people with all eyes on the high dive and try not to have a heart attack. So Candace and I started doing a little podcast, and we had a few guests that we had on that were not members of FemCity, but it was pretty much 100% women. And I would say 90% of the people that we highlighted and talked to were FemCity members. And it was really great. I think we were able to help shine lights on people who were kind of not in a place of being as visible during that time. So I think it was not about like what I couldn't do, but what I could do. And so get out of my own way, get out of my own head, and try to do something nice for the lady across the sidewalk, or interview somebody in our community that was doing amazing work, or just had beautiful words to share of encouragement that might help someone else in our circle.
I love it. And I love that you're sharing. I love that you're sharing that what you were able to do for others, because I think that's so much of the FemCity spirit. When we talk about like what makes FemCity so different is that instead of internalizing and going inward, you were like, what is in my power where I can help other people? And at the same time, when we help other people, we feel better about ourselves as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like the beauty of community is that we, even
Right.
when we're networking, like walking into a scenario and instead of saying like, what's in it for me? And I'm going to take everyone's cards and I'm going to spam everyone. And I'm going to, instead of coming from that perspective, like saying like, what can I do to help you? What is in my power that I'm able to easily help and assist you? And that just opens up, you're also very spiritual like I am. And it just opens up the avenue for more opportunities to come your way, for more karmic reciprocity to come your way, and then for people to feel your love. And then, of course, always remember you, and they're going to eventually refer business to you, or, hey, you should buy Terry's candles or her cards.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. I have your cards. I was going to reach over, but I think if I reach over, I might knock the computer, but I have your cards literally in a bin right in front of me, my little work box that I kind of go through daily. So what's your favorite FemCity love story? When I ask that question, people are like, what? It's not romantic. I don't mean like love story, like romantic love story. I mean more like how two siblings can have love for each other, or a mother and a daughter, or an aunt and a niece, or two best friends, or two childhood friends. So do you have a favorite FemCity love story? It could be either you, or it could be like maybe two of our members that partnered up on a campaign together, or collaborated and created a business or a project. What's your favorite story?
It's hard to narrow it down to just one, but I know I just want to touch on like maybe three real quick. And one is something that's happened at many of our luncheons over the years. Somebody will come in and people are talking, and somebody will come in and be in a really vulnerable space and say something like, I'm just going through a divorce or whatever. And like the whole room is crying. I'm like, this is so not typical of a business networking meeting. But I think that just all the beautiful people we have in our community with these open hearts that are loving and caring. And I think that speaks volumes to kind of some of the folks that are in our group here in New Mexico. Also, I think, oh gosh, okay, I'll try to keep this short. But I was at a board meeting right after I had left my corporate job, and I had no idea how I was going to launch this magazine that I had committed to publishing. And I had quit my job the day before. We had a meeting on a Saturday morning, and I announced to the group before we started anything. I said, by the way, you guys, I just have to tell you, I quit my job. I'm terrified. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to make this work. And Sarah Krishlow, who is also a board member, I told her what I was up to. She goes, don't leave. We were at her house that morning. She goes, don't leave. I want to show you something when everyone's gone. I said, okay. The meeting adjourned. She takes me into her office. I had no idea all the things that Sarah did, but there sits her gigantic Mac laptop screen, and she goes, "I was doing a magazine, blah blah blah, da da da, and I was just sharing this with friends. If you need any help with graphic design, I got you. I would love to do this." So Sarah and another FemCity like lifetime member, Heather Arnold, I mentioned it to her like the Monday after that. I said, "Well, this is what I'm doing." And Heather and her husband own a bicycle shop here. I had no idea Heather did all this other stuff. She goes, "Come to my office." She goes, "I do graphic design and I love publishing, and I can help with ad design. I can help with all of it." So the three of us ended up partnering up. Those two did not know each other, both graphic designers with different tastes, but also some similarities. We worked beautifully as a trio, and created this amazing publication. So I have to say, in my scariest moment, I had two FemCity members that came forward and we just kind of joined forces. And I have to mention, there was a huge event that took place last weekend. One of our newer members, Selena Trujillo, she kind of ran this. It was like a back to school, jump back into school bash. And I think they've got school supplies and stuff for the kids. And she said to the group, a few months ago, "I need help. I need volunteers." And I bet there were a half dozen FemCity
Aw.
people that are just now, I'm sure they are way deep into love with each other after this event that was a huge success. And it was just really beautiful to see that kind of a connection come
Yeah.
to fruition. Just newer member, people who have been around for a while, and I just know that deep friendships will evolve as a result of the hard work that they all put into bringing that to life.
Oh, I love those stories. Those are so yeah. The crying part at a FemCity event, um, that happens often in Miami. I mean, I say Miami because I'm here in Miami, so I get to go to those events often. But I have to say, even in our virtual networking last Wednesday, that I hosted that one. We have them every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And last week I was honored to host it, and we had a member who um, just started crying.
Yeah,
She had just, and so and I always start our networking, and I'm sure you do the same thing, like saying, "Hey, just a reminder, it's a safe space. If someone is going through something, we're just going to hold that space for them without judgment. We're just going to, be there for them." And we all got quiet. Everyone started putting little heart emojis on Zoom, and I thanked her for trusting us. She was waiting for a moment to be with us.
right.
And always 22 different women, right? We have thousands of members around the world. So it's always different 22 women at our Wednesday sessions. But she knew that she'd be able to cry, that she wouldn't be judged, that she would be held, and we would honor her and love on her. And at the end of the day, like I think especially during this time when we're coming out of this like post-pandemic and people are starting to talk about like recession and like all these words, that at the end of the day, that if you have a circle of women that will just lift you up and support you, and they may not know anything about you, just that energy alone helps so many women, because many women don't have that. They don't have a
Right.
supporting husband or a partner or a best friend from childhood, or maybe they moved to a new city. So I love that you shared those stories, because you can make friends at any moment in time, and it changes your life and your business as well.
You just have to say yes. And the other thing too, during pandemic, I started a nonprofit with two other FemCity members, and it's called the Oliver Rigby Foundation. And what we do is we are upcycling the goods that would normally get tossed from some of the hotels here, and then those are funneled off to people who are doing rescue work, to animal shelters, anybody who needs the stuff. There were huge fires in New Mexico several months ago, and the animals up there were displaced by the thousands. And so we made huge donations. But the way we're moving the donations around the state, it's our FemCity members who will often say, we have folks that come in from Santa Fe. It's like, "I'm going back to Santa Fe," MLS multiple times,
Yeah.
Ingla, everybody is like, "Well, I'm heading back and forth. Do we need to drop stuff off there?" It's like, yeah,
Oh, I
that
love that.
needs the help. So we just really show up for each other. And I think it's all about just saying yes.
Yeah.
And people go, "Well, how come it's not working?" Or "How come I'm not getting any referrals?" Well, number one, you have to show up.
Right.
You have to
Exactly.
show up.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't met you. We don't know who you are. We haven't seen your face. And you just have to say yes and get out of your comfort zone. Like, I'm terrified to be in rooms of people that I don't know.
Yeah.
I really am. And this has been the biggest gift for me because it's helped me navigate better in new environments where I have extreme like insecurities and a lot of discomfort. Like, oh God, no, nobody cares about you, but you feel like, "Ah, I can't talk. So FemCity has warmed me up, and I'm doing more external stuff than I would have done in the past.
I love that. And you're so great on camera. I don't know why you're always so you're so great on camera, and you're just anyway,
Palms sweating.
gosh. So Terry, so if someone was like thinking about taking FemCity for a spin and doing the trial membership, what would you tell them?
I would say absolutely. You have everything to gain. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I would also just take this time to invite anyone who has friends in other markets where maybe there is not a chapter to take advantage of the leadership opportunities that you and Lynn have created within the FemCity organization, because the tools are there. And it's just a wonderful way to grow your network and your friendships. And again, everything to gain, nothing to lose. 30 days. If it's not a fit, you don't have to stay. And if it's a fit, stay. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, I love it. And by the way, Terri is one of our directors, as I mentioned earlier. So if you are interested in starting a chapter, reach out to her over on our locations page, Terri@FemCity.com. So thank you so much, Terri. This was amazing and beautiful. And I'm so happy that I got a chance to see your light today, beyond email, because I know we email and chat often through our devices, but it's always great to see your smile in real life. I adore you. Thank you
for being so responsive. Like you're a real life human being that answers your emails, and I'm just so grateful for that, because occasionally there's a question and we need your help, and you're always available. So I thank you, and I love you. So mwah.
Love you too. Thank you, Terri. Mwah.